Hey guys, welcome back. I've got a lawnmower here with a Briggs Stratton engine, the ones with the plastic carb. Now this machine here, I believe last summer I did put a new carburetor because the customer let it sit with old pump gas. And again, he's back this year with the same problem. Maybe not as bad as the year before because it had been sitting for a while. So what I want to do today is show you what it's doing. Then I will take the carburetor off the machine, and instead of replacing the carburetor fully this time, I hope I can just replace one part in the carburetor, and that's what I want to show you in this video. Okay, I'll try to start it up. It's not going to go. And it's full of gas, by the way. And there is a new spark plug in there, and there is spark. So what I'll do at this point is remove the air filter. This is a quick way you can diagnose whether it's a spark or fuel issue. You take your air filter out, then you spray carburetor cleaner down the carburetor hole or quick start. If it fires up, it means that it's not getting fuel from the carburetor. But if you spray it and nothing happens, usually it's a spark plug or a bad coil. So I'll just spray some carburetor cleaner right down here because it's flammable. It'll start and just burn that, and that's it. So this is all I'm getting, guys, from it. It took a few pulls to get that carb cleaner in there. Definitely a fuel issue here. I'll show you how to take the carburetor off and we'll go from there. All right, on these Briggs Stratton engines, you will need a 7mm nut driver or socket on a ratchet and an 8mm nut driver as well. So these are 7mm right here. And there are two 8mm bolts here. So you want to get all 4 bolts out completely. I will clean this part after here before reinstallation. Now this will pop right off. There's your carburetor. So on these here, you just got to pop the auto choke lever. Just come underneath with a small screwdriver like this and just pop this piece right up. Now I have some pliers ready to get the fuel clamp loosened from the fuel line here of the tank, and fuel will come out once you get this carb off. So I usually pull the fuel line off first, and then at the same time I squeeze the fuel line so I don't have fuel leaking all over the place. I just pull the carb out, twist it like this to get it out of the Z-bend here, and then I will put a container to catch the old fuel here, and I'll be replacing that fuel with true fuel once I send it out. So I'm going to let this drain here. It's a bit cumbersome in here, but just drain all your fuel when you do this. Start from scratch, especially if you're doing it for customers. And the fuel does not look good at all in this mower. It looks like there's a lot of water in the mix. Not sure how that happened. Maybe it was just cheap pump gas, or they had a can with water in it. This is probably the problem, or it is the problem of what's happening, but sometimes in the carburetor can affect a small module that I want to show you guys. It's only about $20–25 to replace, and it usually makes your carburetor like a new one again. And have a look at the fuel. You can see all the water in the bottom. There's a lot of water in there. So what I'll do here with the old fuel is just wash this carburetor bit on the outside. Just be careful if you use gas to clean parts. Now before I crack these carbs open, I usually mark one area with white paint just so that when I put the bottom cover back on, I'm matching the exact position, because it does go in only one position here. Okay, now with a 7mm nut driver, I'll take out the two bottom bolts here. And there will be some fuel in this carb, probably with a bit of water, because the fuel tank had a lot of water. And to pop these carburetors apart, just grab your slotted screwdriver, get right in here, and just pry up. And you can see inside the carb, it doesn't look too good with the fuel. It looks like there could be water residual, a bit of water, moisture, whatever you want to call this, on the carb inside. I'll air blow this, and the module that I want to replace is this one right here. You can see the small brass jets. There's one jet here, it's a bit corroded. And when I pop the module off, you'll see a few more little jets underneath. And often that's all you need to replace. What I'll do as well here on the carburetor is just remove the float and the needle valve. Just to dry it up in there. There's the needle valve. So I'll just air blow this again. And now what you want to do is take this module off. Again, grab your slotted screwdriver. And what I do is I just get under here and pry it up. And there you go. So if you don't want to replace the module, guys, you can just run torch tip cleaners through these brass jets. Now, because I'm doing this for a customer, I'd rather it be replaced, because I don't want the customer to come back in a month and say, hey, the machine won't start. Sometimes once the brass starts to corrode, it is hard to stop even if you clean it. Now I will air blow this here part again where the module goes in. And usually when I clean these carburetors, I do not use carb cleaner. Usually just air blowing is good. That's the bonus about having a plastic carburetor. Okay, I've got the carburetor all dried out. Here's the module, the new module, and here's the part number, 59406. I'll put a link in the video description to where you can buy one. Also, I do highly recommend that you get the right module, because there are different modules depending on the carburetor you have, with subtle differences. So I'll show you a module here that looks pretty well identical, but there are a few subtle changes. If you notice right here, and right here, there is no small jet. This is the one I'm using today. But in other modules that look similar, there is a small jet here. So that could highly affect the performance of your engine. So make absolutely sure you get the right one. And the way to do that is to get the model number right here on the engine and look up the parts list. It'll show you a breakdown of the carburetor, and then you get the right module. And now just insert the proper module. It only goes in one way. As you can see, it goes in this way. And then you just push it in. It'll just kind of snap in there or go in there quite firmly. Next, I will reinstall the needle valve and the float here. So I'll just put the needle valve right in the float like that. Now get the pin through the float. Keep your finger on the pin. Get that needle valve right down there, and then you can just kind of press the pin in here. I'll try to line that up. Yeah, you just push it in, and then it's all going to work. Try to line up the pin here so that it's kind of centered. And now with the marks that I made earlier, I don't have to waste time guessing exactly which position it goes in. Just pop it in, line it all up. Then you gotta firmly push on the bowl of the carburetor. You want to make sure it goes in evenly, which it is now. And then put your 2 bolts. Tighten the bolts up evenly. And double check that these seals here are there. And we're all set to go. So the tank's been drying a bit here in the shop while I did the carburetor job. Now I've got my blowgun. I do like to air blow the fuel tanks. It does clean them out really, really well of any moisture. And you want to make sure it's totally dry like a whistle, which it is. So I'm good to go. Okay, let's clear everything out. First thing I do is I hook up the throttle linkage right here like this. Make sure the choke lever and the small arm are out of the way right now. And what I do here is I go and insert the carb right into the intake pipe. All you have to do is push it in like this. That's it. Okay, now what you want to do is install the auto choke mechanism correctly. You want to insert it into this shaft here. And you want to make sure that this part that you're installing is behind this here. This has to be in front. If not, the auto choke will not work. The way it works is as the engine heats up, it takes the choke off, thus opening the butterfly. And don't forget this gasket over here. And now you want to get the fuel line installed. Put the fuel clamp back on as well. Now what you got to do is reinstall this cover here. This connector here goes on the vent tube right here. So you can reach in the back and just kind of hook it up from the back here. It's a bit awkward. And then you just line this up like this. And the 2 bolts with 7mm heads go right here. They're screwing right into the plastic carburetor. And again, tighten them up evenly. And then just put the other 2 bolts with an 8mm head. You can also use a 5/16 nut driver. And these screw onto metal. So if you mix them up, you're going to find that they don't screw in to these holes quite well. Now I'll just install a new air filter. I will put all the part numbers in the video description, including the air filter. Here we go. Now the last thing to do here is to add some fuel to the fuel tank. Today I'm adding the True Fuel 4-cycle. This has a really long shelf life. Once you crack the can open, it's 2 years. A lot of these machines go to cottages and sometimes they do not get used much. So it gives them a really long shelf life to not have these problems anymore. So the 1 can pretty well fills up the fuel tank here, which is good. The fuller your tank is, the less room there is for moisture to build up. All right, let's try this out. That's excellent. First pull, away she went. It is smoking a bit. I think the customer had it tilted over for an extended period of time, and sometimes oil gets in the cylinder head. That'll clear up. I'll just change the oil now. Everything else has been done, and this machine will be ready to go. Alright guys, as you saw there, you can sometimes save your carburetor without replacing the entire thing. If you do use the small modules I showed you in the video, I do recommend that you use the OEM ones from Briggs. I find that I have better luck with them, and again, make sure you get the right one because there's a lot of different variations of those little modules. Again, you don't need too many tools to do this repair. You can do it yourself at home, and thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed and comment in the comment section if you have any questions. Have a great day.